for quite a ride with Alberta's motorcycling marvel.
Now, is there anything else like it? I don't think so.
We set sail with a woman from Ontario on board her floating classroom on the environment.
Hey, there's the sewage treatment plant.
And Elvis, the king, is alive and well and farming in Saskatchewan.
Made the alligators look tame.
Stories of the people across the land. Here we are on the road again.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome to the quiet little town of Consel in southwestern Saskatchewan. The kind of town where you might expect all the talk in the street to be about the price of wheat or the need for rain.
Hey.
Hi, guys. But one thing I've learned in my travels across Canada, oh, hi, Elvis, is that no matter where you travel in this big country, be prepared for the unexpected.
Well, that's all right, Mama. Well, that's all right to say. Well, that's all right, Mama. Don't you know it anyway? Well, that's all right. That's all right. Well, that's all right. That's all right. Well, that's all right now, Mama. Any way you do.
Welcome to Graceland. But remember, this is Saskatchewan, not Tennessee. And this is a Presley. It's Palmer Wenzel, wheat farmer.
Well, I basically work about 4,000 acres. I seed about 2,000 acres.
You love it?
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah. I guess the way the price of grain stuff is, I have to love it, or else I wouldn't be here.
But there's something this farmer loves even more than wheat. Palmer has been impersonating Elvis for as long as he can remember.
When I was in school, when I was in grade 1 and 2, when everybody would go out and play at recess, my big thing was to go to the back of the room and sing to all the girls. Basically, I just went on from there, continued doing things like that.
Here in his basement, Palmer honed his skills using pre-recorded instrumental tracks mail-ordered from Nashville.
Check.
He's performed as Elvis in and around Consel for 3 years now, and he's had offers from music promoters who want to take his Elvis act on the road. Palmer's been tempted, but he's always turned them down.
My main priority is my family, and my farm, is a big priority also. So basically, that's why I haven't taken up, any of these opportunities that I've had so far.
Down in Louisiana, where the alligators grow so mean, lived a girl that I swear to the world made the alligators look tame.
If you're impersonating somebody, you have to think like him, you have to act like him, and you have to do like him. I'm not for 1 minute thinking that I'm even the 10th as good as Elvis, because I'm not. I don't want anybody to think that Elvis was the greatest, and there'll never be another Elvis. But I do my very best, and people tell me I do a decent job.
Of course, Palmer's got a few other jobs to do as well. Like seeds to sow, crops to check, and grain to sell, if only he can find a buyer. Elvis Presley never had to worry about things like this. And Elvis Presley never had to do his own publicity either.
Should I hang this up in your window?
You bet, I'll be happy.
Of course, here in Consel, Palmer doesn't really have to work all that hard to draw a crowd.
Everybody loves them. Well, we're proud of him. He used to serenade us on the way to school. He's got the moves.
He's got the moves?
Yeah.
Did you ever see the real Elvis?
No.
Is this sort of the next best thing?
Or better.
Or better? Whoa!
We may not have a lot of things in Consel, but we have Elvis.
It's almost showtime, and Palmer's got to be on his way.
Okay, so I guess Daddy's got to go now, okay?
What, Elvis?
Yeah, go be Elvis. Okay, see you later, boy.
It's 10 miles from the farm into Console, and Palmer always makes the drive alone. This is when the transformation begins.
You know, I guess when I'm driving along my pickup truck, I'm starting to think I'm Elvis. Like, I don't know really how to explain, because I really don't think I'm Elvis, but for a while, I'm in that Elvis mode.
You could be pulling up in front of in a big hotel in Vegas.
The Flamingo, Caesar's Palace, International Hotel.
Let's go to the Console Hotel, baby.
Yes, sir.
But when you pull up in front of the Console Hotel, I mean, that's home. Your people are in there.
Yeah.
Your neighbors.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind?
Well, there's a lot of things going through my mind. Palmer Wenzell's been singing in this town for a lot of years, and they should be sick of me. I'm sure they must be. They're just not saying they are.
I'm going, oh baby, I won't be back no fall. Yeah, I'm going away, baby. I won't be back no fall. If I find me a new girl, won't be back at all.
What's the sensation? What's the feeling on a stage? And it's right.
Here we go again. Talking to my friend.
You really do believe you're a star for a while.
And you don't believe.
But then when I open my eyes, I look out and I see all the people I know, so okay, either they all caught a plane to Vegas or I'm in Console.
We can go together. Suspicious mind.
What makes Palmer Wenzel different as an Elvis impersonator?
Well, I can't speak for the other Elvis impersonators, but I love it. I put everything into it. I would do it for free because I love it that much.
Don't be cruel. I don't wonder why, baby, it's you I'm thinking of.
I would love to play Las Vegas. I would love to do a tour with a complete band behind me, but I always got to remember that I have a family and I have a farm, so everything has to work out perfect, for that I can accommodate both things and look after, everything, It's an emotional roller coaster. I'm a star at one moment and just a nobody the next moment, so. But, that's the life I chose. That's what I love. I love to be a farmer, too. It's great to be a farmer. It's great to be alive. I love it.
Well, the curtain's falling and the show's through. Gotta get up in the morning cause there's farming to do. But hey, now, don't you worry now. You'll see me again when my chores all done. Don't you step on my blue suede shoes. You can do anything but look on my blue suede shoes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Stay with us. Next, we board the good ship NIMBY for a bit of an environmental cruise. Port Maitland on the northern shore of Lake Erie. It's home to a wide variety of boats, everything from pleasure craft to barges. It's also home port for this boat, the NIMBY. Now, the NIMBY may look like a tugboat, but it isn't. It's a very different kind of boat, built for a very different kind of woman.
Okay, there's the sewage treatment plant. That's a really good example of how if people decide to work together and communities decide to clean things up, they can accomplish good things.
Pat Potter is spreading the word.
Was dead.
She wants to wake people up to the dangers of pollution.
It was the human waste that was going out. Too much growth, and it was smothering the fish.
Every day, she takes people on guided tours along the Grand River, pointing out the problems and the solutions.
Before they put them in, what you would catch is carp and catfish and bullheads. Now, they've cleaned up the water, and we've got a beautiful pickerel fishery down here. Really nice pickerel. They come in from the lake. Nice ones. You want to catch these guys.
She's been taking people on tours of this river for 4 years now. Pat became involved in environmental issues when her daughters developed pollution-related illnesses. She brought it to the attention of the authorities, but according to Pat, they wouldn't do anything about it.
And at that point, I just said, that's it. Nobody's in charge. My kids aren't safe. And I'm going to take control. So I went back to university to learn more about what to do.
All those waves are the most tranquil sound I've heard for about a couple of months.
So Pat and her husband Chuck became environmentalists, devoting their lives campaigning for conservation. They were making headway when a serious automobile accident put their crusade on hold.
I stopped for a school bus, and there was a truck behind me that never saw me. And he practically drove through my car while I was stopped. And the car spun out onto the other side of the road, and it took him about 45 minutes to get me out of it.
Pat suffered head injuries, partial paralysis, and loss of memory. She was told by doctors she'd never be able to work again.
I wound up involuntarily retired, basically. And I got really frustrated because I couldn't do anything. And what I found out I could do is I could still work organizing, bringing together events and information for school kids. All right, we'll get everybody to line up at the boat and go on one at a time.
She used the money she received from the insurance settlement to build the NIMBY.
Boarding. Be careful when you step onto the board. Go through one at a time, through the wheelhouse and to the left.
It became her floating classroom.
Go down carefully and watch it. It's slippery on the steel. Pass the word. The whole idea is to get them curious, to just be that catalyst that takes sort of the mundane classroom stuff, makes it a little more exciting. Okay, see the shoreline? The shoreline of the creek, that's Broad Creek. It's a landfill. They have high-level radioactive waste now spread throughout the site.
Isn't there something that someone can do to get the company to, I don't know, fix the problem that they've caused?
What you have to do, the only thing that works is public pressure, because...
Another thing that Chuck and Pat teach the students on board is their definition of the word NIMBY.
NIMBY means now I must become involved. It's the whole description of the project. Anyone who goes on that boat must become involved. That's the fee for being a passenger. And it was very convenient.
Pat found the kids who came on the tour were eager to help, but didn't know what to do.
The first loads of kids, it was really quite interesting. What they knew was all about deforestation in the Amazon and absolutely nothing about Ontario. So we decided what we would do is put into the program another half of the tour where people would plant trees. And when people say, well, I'm worried about deforestation, you say, okay, here's a shovel, here's a tree, this is what you do. Just lift the whole chunk of soil out when you can.
In the 4 years the NIMBY program has been running, the students have planted thousands of trees.
This is your shovel.
All right.
And everyone who attends the program has to plant one.
Start digging.
Okay.
Looking back, Pat Potter feels her accident was actually a blessing in disguise. It gave her the money to build the NIMBY and the time to share her concerns with others for the environment.
I am the luckiest person you're going to meet, Wayne. My dad used to have a great saying. He always said, if I fell into an outhouse, I'd come out of it with a gold ring around my neck. And it's true. I always seem to land the right way up.